fast, meaning he doesn't do iftar. Wal Imamul Adil, a just ruler, king. The third is Da'watul Mazloom, and the dua of an oppressed person, a Mazloom person upon whom oppression and zulm has been done. The hadith continues, Allah lifts the dua of the oppressed person above the clouds. Allah opens up the doors of the skies for him. And Allah addresses him by saying that I will accept your dua maybe after a while. You might not see the result right away, but maybe in a few days, in a month or so, you will see the result. Your dua will not be rejected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So since we are in Ramadan, we'll just talk about the first part, the dua of a fasting person. From when to when are we fasting? From Fajr all the way to Maghrib. So that's why this entire day in a state of fasting, not only after Salah, the entire day, whatever time we make dua, it is hope from Allah that Allah will accept it. So we don't have to really sit down and raise our hands. Sure, those du'as in which the hands are raised, the hadith says that that dua is more near to acceptance as compared to the dua in which the hands are not raised. But sometimes we are sitting in a place or we are in a certain situation, it's not appropriate to raise our hands. Standing in the subway, standing in the bus, we can still make the dua. Driving the car, if we raise our hands, we'll hit someone, end up in an accident. So in other words, we don't have to really wait for the time of Salah. Whatever opportunity we have, multiple times we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who knows, this might be a moment of acceptance and Allah will accept our du'as. So we should benefit from the blessings of this month. And if you really focus, if we sit down, me and you sit down for 2 minutes and we think and we start writing down what are the du'as we need to do, we would realize, I can easily say 70% of us would realize that we are forgetting to make dua. Some of us are forgetting to make dua for our children. Some are forgetting to make dua for our parents. Some are forgetting to make dua for the school and college. Some are forgetting to make dua for their job and businesses. Some are forgetting to make dua for their relatives or whatever the situation, for the anxiety and depression, for the diseases they are in, for the situations they are facing. So we should really sit down every once in a while, write a list, and we will realize how many du'as are needed. And this is the month that we should utilize in making dua. Last thing, sometimes we might not see the result of the dua right away. The hadith says Allah accepts the du'as in 3 ways. First is Allah gives you whatever you want as it is. Second is Allah doesn't give you what you ask for, but Allah will save you from a disaster or calamity instead of that. A student is asking to be admitted in an Ivy League college or maybe in a first tier college, a second tier, and Allah does not accept his dua, but who knows, Allah saves him from a calamity in return of this. The dua that we recite when we start our journey, sitting in the car, the ulama say the result of that dua is accident is there in your destiny, in your taqdeer. You cannot waive that accident. But the result of the dua is when people would see your car, it is totaled, and people would say maybe the person didn't survive, but there won't be a single scratch on your body because you recited the dua and Allah saved you from the calamity. जिसको कहते हैं दुआ तकदीर को भी बदल देती है. And the third form of the acceptance of dua is Allah neither gives you what you ask for, nor Allah saves you from a calamity, but rather Allah deposits this dua in the savings account of the hereafter, in the deposit box of the hereafter. The hadith says when the human being, the believer, will start seeing the rewards on the day of judgment, he would ask Allah that, oh Allah, I didn't do this, I didn't ask for this. Allah will say, this is the result of those dua of yours that I did not accept in the dunya. So the hadith says, he will say, I wish none of my du'as were accepted in the dunya. जब वो जज़ा देखेगा आखिरत के दिन के एक एक दुआ के कबूल ना होने पर अल्लाह पाक क्या दे रहे हैं, तो आदमी आखिरत के दिन तमन्ना करेगा कि काश दुनिया में मेरी एक भी दुआ कबूल नहीं होती. So that's why we should never lose hope. we should continue making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding. Ameen. Salatul Taraweeh.